Welcome to Pioneer Parent Academy videos. Today I'm here with Miss Dawn Reed, licensed professional counselor. She's here today to discuss some ways that you can help your child with their emotional health as they are getting back into the classroom. Today she's going to share information with you about ways to identify signs of stress, frustration, or even anxiousness that your child might experience as they are back to school. Welcome, Dawn. I'm so glad you're here today.
Well, thank you, Miss Laura, for having me.
Good.
I appreciate it.
Thank you. So the first question I have for you is, what are some signs of stress that students might experience as they're going back to school and considering their ages, like early childhood, middle school, or even young adults?
Okay. I think stress looks different on different age groups. We can look at an early childhood, somebody that's young, kindergarten through 5th grade, they might have different symptoms than somebody maybe in middle or junior high versus high school. So like early on, I feel like children under stress, they might be a little more clingy to their parents. They might be saying stuff like, I have a stomach ache, I don't really want to go to school. Things like that. Those are usually stress common things. They might even revert to some younger child situations. They might wet the bed, for example, or bite their fingernails down to the stubs. Things
Yes.
like this. They're a little more irritable. So a lot of times when we're stressed, it comes out in different ways. In junior high, they're putting it to words. I feel stressed out. I'm anxious, I'm worried. These are all things that we're hearing from our junior high. They've learned the words, they understand that I'm under undue stress right now. Sometimes stress and anxiety and depression might look alike, where you kind of withdraw, you're more isolated, or you might be the opposite and just be so hyper, and just like bouncing off the walls because you're stressed, you don't know how to calm yourself. You're like your system is just wired and going crazy. So it could be both extremes. We can look at that and go, okay, what's really going on here? And sometimes it might come out in the way that they are reacting toward their friends and their family. So if you notice a big change, you might start asking some questions.
Right.
In high school, it's much similar to junior high. I think high school kids have kind of learned probably some better coping skills at this point. They've been under all that stress for all these years. They understand how to handle some stuff, but sometimes it does get overwhelming and they are able to say, I think I might need a little more help.
Right.
And so they might reach out a little better.
That's good information. Thank you for that.
Uh-huh.
So if you notice your child experiencing signs of stress or anxiousness or frustration, what should a parent do?
They should talk. They should have an open dialogue with their child. That's the main goal. Is a lot of times people just need to be heard. They need to be able to know, I can go to my parent and talk about some things. And if it's not you, if you know another adult in your life that's good with your child, that they seem to kind of open up with, bring them to that person and get them more there, because a lot of times a child won't talk to their parent, but they might talk to their aunt so-and-so, or they might talk to their neighbor. So know who those people are in your children's life that they are comfortable with, that you trust,
Right.
to be able to bring about some conversation.
So are there ways to successfully implement some of those strategies to really make sure that you feel confident that they're going to work as you're trying to help your child deal with stress or frustration?
Now, if your child is closed up and will not talk at all, then you might have to look at some professional help and guidance. And we want that to happen. You don't want your child to just stew in their stress, because stress leads to so many different things, not just mental, but there's so many physical ailments that we have from stress, that we have got to learn how to manage our stress and be able to learn how to take those deep breaths, know how to get on a nature walk, get out in the sun. And that's another thing. I think our society right now is so into their phone, into their gaming systems, that they're not interacting with the world. And so stress is even bigger, because they're not having an outlet. And so we've got to have those outlets to get rid of those stresses.
So trying to think about coping skills and just how to handle everything. How do you build your child's coping skills?
One thing I would say that has been beneficial to having COVID situations going on right now is we've kind of slowed down.
Right.
And I think people have kind of evaluated, this is kind of better, on some areas. And so I think overscheduling your child is going to bring you stress and your child stress, and your child is also going to feed off of your stress. So if mom and dad are stressed, your child's going to be stressed. And so you need to realize we can slow down a little bit. We don't have to be in every sport or every activity. We don't have to be in every club. We can take some things off.
It's okay to say no sometimes.
It's okay to say no. It's good to say no. You have to say no, because if you don't, your schedule will overwhelm you and it'll control your life.
Absolutely. So obviously everyone experiences a certain amount of stress or frustrations, or they get anxious about something. But how do you know as a parent, like when maybe you need to seek some additional support?
One of the things, kind of a step-by-step program would be, a step-by-step way to know what you should do is to talk to your child. If they're closed up, maybe talk to your school counselor. Your school we have incredible school counselors at Batesville School District. I know all of them, and they are fabulous. And so I would say first talk to them, and then if they say, I'm seeing a little, because they're really good about picking up on, is this normal or is this abnormal? Is this too much or too little? And they'll be able to say, yeah, maybe you might need additional help. And so I think that would be where we might send you to your primary care doctor. They might want to look at you, see how you're doing. A lot of times our doctors and our school counselors send us referrals if they need a little extra additional help. And we help with family and individual counseling for your child. Because, sometimes we do need an extra push. If there used to be a real big stigma about going to see a counselor. I don't think it's there anymore. It's especially not there in our young children.
Right.
And it's gotten a lot more acceptable, and even to a point where we brag about I had a counselor appointment or something. We don't want to do that, but it's a situation where the stigma is not what it used to be, and I'm proud of that. I'm glad that people are seeing the incredible service that counseling can do for them. Benefits,
Sure.
And so we can have major benefits on our health and our well-being by talking to somebody that's uninvolved in our situation. Sometimes we just need an impartial person to listen to us and to give us maybe some sound words.
Okay, so we know that this year school looks different than any other year that we've experienced. We have students who are learning on campus and students that are learning virtually. And so thinking about those students that are participating in virtual learning, we know that they may experience stress and frustration in some different ways. And maybe it's because they don't have that outlet, with their friends to be connected with them as they are, in the school setting. So what are some ways that parents can support their child who might be doing virtual school?
That's a really good question. I think lots of school districts are asking that right now because we're just in such new territory. Students at home probably are having a lot of stress just trying to figure out the new normal. And parents too, because they're like, I'm not used to my child being home all day and teaching them and going through this, or they might even be home alone because parents are at work and they're doing their own thing. So life is a lot different for sure. So one thing that we need to do is we need to realize that stress is stress no matter where you are, home or at school. So there are real issues in both places, and so students need each other. Okay, we know that our peer group at this age is super vital. We need our peers, and so we have to find new creative ways to get in touch with our peers, whether that's a phone call or whether that's a FaceTime. We have such great technology these days that you can get on a Zoom call with your friends, that kind of thing. And so technology is good and technology is bad. You just got to find that happy medium. But I do feel like most students, they need to find a way that they can engage with their peer. Whether that's, hey, let's meet up at the park and stay apart. I mean, have some time that like when your child was little, you made play dates.
Sure.
I mean, we have to do that again with our students that are at home.
Good.
We need to make sure that they are connecting with other people.
Good. That's good information. Thank you for
Mm-hmm.
that. Well, this has all been amazing information, and I know it will be so helpful to families, as they're dealing with back to school
Right.
and things going on in their children's lives. So thank you, Dawn. Thank you so much. So today we have Miss Dawn Reed. She is the director at Pinnacle Point Outpatient Behavioral Health Services and a licensed professional counselor. We are going to pitch it to Miss Sandy Daniels. She is our school-based mental health coordinator for Batesville School District, and she is going to outline the protocol and procedure on how you might access additional services for your child.
Hi, I'm Sandy Daniels. I'm the Batesville School District School-Based Mental Health Coordinator, and I'm here today to talk about how to access services for a student that may have mental health concerns. The process generally starts with a teacher, a parent, or a school guidance counselor that may have concerns about a student's mental health and feel like school-based mental health could benefit the student. The referral would happen at the building level with the school guidance counselor being the gatekeeper, and school counselor would talk with the parent and guardian, then make the referral to the school-based mental health program. We would process that referral and send the referral to one of our partnering agencies, who would then contact the parent or guardian to get additional information so that they can develop a plan for the student. That does require a parent and the student generally meeting with a therapist before services can begin. And then once that process has taken place, the therapist can come into the school, talk with the student there, or sometimes, especially in the case of virtual students, the meeting may actually happen outside of the school in the clinic or in the home. And one of the other things I wanted to mention is that we do have resources available on the district website, and I've got it pulled up here to show how to access those for parents who might be interested in looking at additional information. So if you scroll down here to the School-Based Mental Health tab and just click on it, you're going to see all kinds of different crisis lines or agencies and tabs here that you can click on to get additional information. One of my favorite things that we've put on recently is the virtual calming room. I'm going to click on that. It's going to redirect us to a site, which we actually got this from a school district in Minnesota, and instead of reinventing the wheel, we just thought it was out there on the web, and we could just attach that link to our website so that you guys could see or use the same things that other people are using. All kinds of really good stuff. Sounds and music is one of my favorites, just for relaxing. And again, this is called the virtual calming room, and it has all kinds of different things that you can choose from, whether it be piano or beach waves or the coral reef. You can play that in the background and just sort of kick back and relax. And then show you also one of my other favorites. There's a visual relaxation, so you can actually put this on a screen. Guided practice. This is for students who could benefit from learning to breathe. And there's also one in there that is for young children who are Spanish speaking. My favorite is the Color and Create. I really like this one, Weaving the Silk. It's pretty cool. So you can actually do your own weaving. Just sort of a calming activity that kids can do just to sort of settle their brain. Really enjoy that one. And then I'm also going to show you one more, which I think a lot of kids enjoy, is the live cameras. And there's a variety of different things that you can actually watch. Different animals and different things. The polar bears, San Diego Giraffe Cam, the Elephant Cam. So those are some resources we have available on the district website. I'd encourage you to access those if you need further information. You can always contact me or your school's guidance counselor for a referral for school-based mental health, and I encourage you to do that if you have concerns about your child's mental health. And thank you so much. Have a great day.